I don't think this is like debatable. It's like your style or what you need and my style and what I need, they are not on court the best, like the perfect match, right? Like I am a pick and roll player, ball heavy, ball dominant.
Which is something that Mike D'Antoni favors. That's one of the reasons why Amar'e Stoudemire chose the Knicks in his free agency.
And you are maybe the best mid-post isolation scorer. Not just to say that's the only thing that you can do, but you are elite at that.
You see the differences right there? That's one of the things when you go back and see James Dolan talk about his learning lessons from running the Knicks, is situations like this, where you're quick to run and get the superstar, but meanwhile, you don't even have the personnel to match him. And that's always been an issue for the Knicks for most of James Dolan's reign.
And so these two styles are realistically not something that is going to naturally mesh. So you got to work on meshing at it. And so now we're kind of in this space and we don't really know how to move and everyone's kind of trying to figure it out. So I'm trying to figure out like, look, people are like, what are you thinking about? I'm like, let me tell you what I was thinking about. I'm thinking about the guaranteed date because they can still cut me. Like after my first 2, 3, 4 games, like they could still cut me until the day. Like if I go down, if we play the Lakers and I go down with the season ending injury, I'm getting waived.
And that shows you how crazy this whole Linsanity situation was. The fact that Stephen A. Smith earlier in the segment had asked Melo who's taking the last shot. We're talking about a guy who potentially could get waived. He's never even really gotten a fully guaranteed NBA contract. Shit is wild. Deep down inside, you had to know Melo felt a type of way.
I'm getting waived. Like I'm not thinking all these other things that everybody's thinking about. It's like, I'm literally just trying to make it. And so that's where my mind is at. And he's a franchise player who has to think about the direction of the organization and getting all these pieces together. And, you know, something you said over the phone is like, hey, is Jeremy the missing piece? Like, so you're thinking about all these things holistically and also the pressure on you to come back, get back and figure out how we're going to figure all of this out together. Because, you know, obviously Stat, TY, they got their own different styles as well. And so that's kind of like the complexity of the situation, right? Like a lot of moving parts. And all of a sudden, you know, I wouldn't even say our coaching staff was aligned either.
No.
Right? Like
I was going to go there next.
Yeah. So our coaching staff isn't aligned. And
so this is D'Antoni. This
D'Antoni
is
and Woody.
Brother.
Woody.
D'Antoni's brother.
Yep.
Phil.
Phil's in the front office.
So there's a lot going on.
No, we had Coach Phil.
Yeah. No, Coach Phil. Not Phil Jackson wasn't there yet.
This was D'Antoni's crew.
Got you.
Yeah.
Hey, Melo. Speak on it, man. You was not feeling that shit at all. That right there is the main catalyst of this whole situation. The fact that D'Antoni's system showed that you could plug in a player that's even on the fringes of being in the league and the team will start to have a winning record. The Knicks, once again, were 9-2 during that Jeremy Lin stretch. And before then, they lost 11 out of 13. And afterwards, when Melo came back from the injury, they were 2-8.
The reality is, you know, and correct me if I'm over speaking, but I do think you felt a pressure of like, I need to get back and prove and figure out like what I'm going to bring to the team because I'm hurt and they're moving in this direction. I'm feeling a pressure of like, okay, I'm rookie minimum. And at the end of the day, like, how do I help what it is that the big three have already started with this organization? And so, you know, again, I was just so new to and so green, like we didn't always have the toughest conversations and we didn't have the environment where we were really talking about things openly either on that team. And so a lot of it was guessing, but yeah, it wasn't easy. Like it wasn't easy and it wasn't perfect.
So that's from his perspective. Now, my add-on to that is leadership, right, comes into play, right? Outside of player leadership, whose leadership in the coaching staff and front office, who is really, forget the front office, because they shouldn't have nothing to do with what happens, what we do on the court.
All right, Melo about to make it be known. Let's look at Mike D'Antoni and his staff.
When you think about coaching, right? We didn't have nobody, and I love D'Antoni. Like, despite it's me and D'Antoni too. Like,
hey, let's not ignore this. There was a rift in between the two. Let's not forget the beef. D'Antoni resigned right after Melo came back, and the team went 2-8.
It's me versus everybody. But even with D'Antoni, it's like he didn't know how to adjust to that either, because it was new to him.
Yeah.
And because he didn't understand him, he didn't know about, I mean, he was on the team, but it wasn't like D'Antoni had him in rotation or like, oh, we going to Jeremy Lin and we going to play. No, all of this shit is happening in quick time.
Yeah.
So as I'm coming back, I got to come back healthy to really figure this shit out, because I know at the end of the day, this ain't going to be on him.
Mm-hmm.
This shit is on me.
Mm-hmm.
And that right there is a tough part, because at the end of the day, if the Knicks lose, they were going to blame Melo. So D'Antoni still had to go with a style of play where Melo could still get his. It's tough because if the coach was attached to a lie detector test, he'd rather have gone with his play style. Jeremy Lin having the ball, doing pick and roll. The ball is moving from side to side. No one's holding on to it. They just rather have gone with that play style, because that's where you really saw the success that season.
So whatever happens, if it don't work out, they can say, oh, Jeremy Lin had a good run, Linsanity, boom, boom. That's what could have happened.
Yeah.
So the pressure on me to come back, lead this team, and figure out, oh, if he's going to be the guy, which I told him that we had this was front office.
Right.
Listen, if this is who's going to be the guy, we got to figure this out. I'm going to figure this out, but you have to tell me if this is going to be the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because he playing one way, and then you got the coaching wanting to play a whole nother way, because they're still skeptical about what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
So they telling me, Melo, all right, cool, like we gonna hurry up and get back. We don't know how long this gonna. So the pressure on me to get back, I had to really come back sharp. So in between that, there's success, right? There's excitement, there's winning, right? We found something out of nothing in the sense. We was down and out. They was wearing the bags over their heads at our games.
Yeah, it was fucking bad, man. Once again, the Knicks lost 11 out of their last 13 games. And as Melo described, there was a lot of different directions. Everyone was trying to figure out where they're going. D'Antoni had his own style alongside Jeremy Lin, but he wasn't sure if it was sustainable, because Lin has never even been on a guaranteed contract before. This sounds like a complete shit show, but wow. Only in New York, lightning could come out of a bottle like that.
I remember vividly.
Right?
Yeah.
So now we get this golden nugget coming in here and revitalize just the energy that we all needed. And I think Amari needed it. I think Tyson needed it. I think D'Antoni needed it. I think Dolan needed it. Right? It was just an energy that was needed at that point in time.
You could have been a great player that, comes out of nowhere in any other city. But the fact that you did it here multiplied everything, and all those narratives that sort of probably made it uncomfortable for y'all to talk, especially you, is exacerbated at that point, right? Like, you're the biggest star in sports out of nowhere, and you're still on Landry Field's couch or Steve Novak's couch? Where was that?
Yeah, it was Landry's couch.
It was Landry's couch? Right.
Small couch, literally this size right here. Got my feet hanging off.
It's nuts. So, I mean, I just love to know, with y'all two, on the outside looking in, when you break it down on a basketball term, yeah, it probably makes sense just style-wise, like, why wouldn't it mesh? But us being fans, us being people watching it, and especially it being in New York, your ascension and then hoping Melo gets back just gave everybody hope. Like, I remember leading up to that Miami game where everyone just kind of the Knicks might actually have something here.
Yeah, so, I'm going to cut you off real quick on that.
Please.
Real quick. Because he mentioned style-wise.
Yes.
Didn't work. Or had to figure it out.
Right.
The thing about with style-wise, when I was playing, it was a way. Me, Amari, Stat played a certain way, right? We played the way. Now he come in, now it's a whole nother way.
Again, the way Jeremy Lin and Mike D'Antoni kind of structured things when Melo was out with the injury was the direction the league was already headed towards. That's probably one of the biggest parts of this whole saga right here. Just like right now, how the small ball era of the NBA is pretty much over. It's ending for sure. There was a moment of a transition happening the same time when Melo first arrived in New York. The play styles of Allen Iverson, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, all those volume shooters out in the wings. The rules in the game started evolving into what Mike D'Antoni was doing with the Phoenix Suns and Steve Nash. It's obvious the league wanted to go in that direction, so they shifted the rules and just the overall structure to cater towards that. If you count up all the NBA champions ever since the Dallas Mavericks beat the Miami Heat, they all fit that kind of style.
Right, and I'm out the game. So what ends up happening is, as a fan, the media, you start to put the question out there, what style is, what style you gravitating toward at that moment, right? So now you putting these styles against each other and you making people pick a side of what style of play you want for the New York Knicks. So you have that style, and then you have my style of play, right? So now you gotta pick and choose because they put that wedge in there.
Yeah.
So the narrative becomes stronger. If I'm playing this way in the course of the game, he's playing this way in the course of the game, which we both could do.
And I think that's the thing is, like, when we talked about this one conversation where me, Melo, Stat, and Tyson Chandler, we were all finally, 4 of us, healthy, and we met before a road game against the Bucks, and us 4 aligned on this is what we're gonna try to do, because not everybody, but we have different styles. You can play the run and gun, 7 seconds or less, pick and roll, or you can go more like get the ball to Melo, let you cook, let you do your thing in the style that you have. They're not necessarily mutually exclusive. It's not to say that they can't coexist together. It takes extra work.
Yeah.
And it takes extra reps for it to coexist together and for it to exist together well. And I think that's the part where we had to really figure that out.
Unfortunate for the Knicks, it was a shortened season also. That's when, like Melo said, they had to play those back-to-back-to-back games.
That's the part where we had to really figure that out. There is, it takes a lot of work and intentionality to get there. And so it's not to say that we weren't trying.
Yeah.
We were trying.
But we also didn't have the leadership to help us.
We didn't have the leadership.
Figure this shit out.
And also, I don't think that, and this is my perspective, I don't think us 4 were close enough
to figure it out.
Right.
And so to say that, like, all 4 of us showed up and we're on the same page, I don't think that's true.
No.
I think we all showed up with the intention of how can we try to get on the same page, because we were 8-15 in 10th place, and every game fans would come down, boo us, throw something at us, tell us we suck on their way out because we were down 20. That's the reality of what we were looking at. And so it was the intentionality to try to figure it out was there. But yeah, it's not easy, difficult. Man. It's not easy.
It's difficult. It's funny as shit now. Now we older now. You win it, you're not looking at it.
It's not funny back then.
What I'm about to say is funny because when you go from a meeting of 3, me, Amari, Tyson, right? That's primarily the leadership of that team, of this organization, right? Everything comes through us as far as ideas, defensively, offensively, how style, like what do we want to do? Like that's just natural conversation that you should be having with the coach and all of that, trying to figure this out. Then a snap of a finger, you got him a part of that meeting.
Right.
So now it's like, okay. Right? Like what's happening here? Like,
in the meeting, before the meeting, I'm like, wait, y'all want me in this meeting?
My point exactly. So I'm like, what are we doing?
1/50th of what you guys make.
So when I say the way that they introduced it to me and Tyson and Amari wasn't nothing bad. It was just like, oh shit, okay, we got another face in here. We got another body, we got another mind in here.
Right.
Damn, that's awkward. That is very awkward. To put Jeremy Lin in that bucket just off of like a week or 2 week stretch, it does sort of sound like a failure on Mike D'Antoni's part, or just whoever organizationally was running things, to think that Lin could even be in that room discussing the direction of the team. That's God damn, this shit sounds like a complete shit show, to be honest with you.
Which nobody was used to. It was just like, yo, we doing the meet, Jeremy. Come on, Jalen. It's like, oh shit. That's why he felt that way of, you want me in there?
Yeah.
You said, because now he becomes a priority in strategy and figuring this shit out.
Yeah.
And somebody who's on a 10-day, a non-guaranteed contract, that's a lot of pressure. So I try to blanket that from him. Leave him alone. Fuck that. No, he ain't doing that. Jeremy ain't gonna get the KFC deal.
Right.
Like, why you turning the Mercedes deal, the BMW? Right. Like, fuck that. Go get $100 million.
Yeah.
So that's for another day. We can move on now.
And that's what I'm saying is so complicated, is because ownership is unsure, front office is kind of split, coaching staff is split, and players are split, because we're trying to figure out what direction is this ship going in. And looking back, it's like, actually, the same point that I've been saying is, we could have coexisted if we had the time and the intentionality to figure it out. And that's where we were trying to get to. But the reality was, even on the player side, things were kind of split, right? Like, it was like, some players are very suitable to complement Melo and what you're great at. Some players, some of the younger role players, we had a thing going and we had it figured out. And so now everybody's kind of like unsure. And to me, and I had said this to him, I was like, you got to think from my perspective, everything kind of came and went so fast, and now I'm not on the Knicks anymore. And after that, I hear publicly a coach saying something, and three teammates saying stuff publicly about like, oh, Linsanity didn't vibe with everybody in the locker room, and Linsanity this, and there was jealousy, or it just couldn't work. We couldn't figure it out with that group.
Just taking a step back, this is all a domino effect of the Melo trade, because shit was already unorganized since he arrived on the team. They got rid of a lot of key pieces of guys who were on the team, and then they were sort of in a rebuilding mode. James Dolan, in a way, being so pressed to trade for Melo, there was too much of a we'll figure it out later. And by the time Jeremy Lin in the second season for Melo had arrived, you add on top of that, it's a lockout season, things are more crunched and more shortened. It begins to become a domino effect of like, okay, we'll put it off till later. Oh, let's figure it out now. And then Jeremy Lin pops up, and Mike D'Antoni's trying to see even if the initial move of James Dolan trading for Melo fit him. It's like a cascading of a lot of fuckery, man. This is a lot. I didn't realize it was this bad.
I mean, but even me coming in the NBA, I signed a partially guaranteed contract with the Warriors, and the first thing that comes out is he's just here for jersey sales.
Wow.
And so now I'm caught, like, that's the thing. That's what's unique about my story, is nobody's really seen somebody like me come along.
Yeah.
So nobody knew how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And because of that, now everybody's trying to figure it out. And so I was caught in that early on as a rookie. And so you had the owner who really wanted me. You had other people that didn't believe in me. Then we had this whole thing, is you drive here for ticket sales or here to play ball. And now you got all of that. I get cut twice, and then I show up in New York and
they're thinking the same thing.
And
can we get jersey sales? Right, we talking about real, we sparking real shit right now, right?
So everyone has a different angle,
Absolutely.
Right? Because D'Antoni, I do believe D'Antoni wanted me there on the team, because during my workout, I crushed my Knicks workout.
Okay.
I crushed it. And D'Antoni called me into his office and was like, that might have been the best workout I've ever seen. Like, who are you? And so me and D'Antoni have this conversation, and he's like, look, man, we got these picks. Like, basically what he was saying was, I really like you and I'm going to try to convince them to, but I can't guarantee it.
Gotcha.
Now that I look back and I'm piecing together his words, this was before I ever came into the NBA.
Gotcha.
That's why he left.
It wasn't until year 2 until I actually got a chance to join the team. So D'Antoni was coming from the angle of basketball, but maybe other people weren't.
Right.
Once again, D'Antoni's pretty underrated when it comes to using certain kind of players in his system. We never seen him look quite the same. Look at Steve Nash. He was a 2-time MVP under that D'Antoni system. Didn't look the same before it or even after. Raymond Felton, that first season in New York. The Knicks were humming. They were playing a fun version of basketball that was entertaining, and they were winning games. So there is definitely a method to D'Antoni's madness when it comes to his offense, and he knows what kind of player archetypes fit within it.
Right. And then when it came time to, do I stay, do I not, poison pill, big jump, now everybody has a different lens into, you know, is it worth it, or why is it worth it?
Wow. Something just popped up. But I never heard this before.
Okay.
Like I'm saying, from his experience when it comes to that. And I wonder now, is that why D'Antoni left?
Melo's getting into something. D'Antoni already saw the writing on the wall. Your play style and just the politics of having a star like you on the team, especially with James Dolan going out of his way to get you, it did not fit with his coaching style. And that lockout season proved it. Once again, the Knicks lost 11 of 13 games the week before Linsanity, then went 9-2 with Jeremy Lin, and then went 2-8 with Melo making his return. And D'Antoni saw the writing on the wall. That's why he resigned right away.
Left New York.
Because he felt the pressure from a business side of just dealing with the politics of the game as opposed to just dealing with the pure
just playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he just got up and bounced. And nobody never knew why. But now that he's saying this, right, that shit just made me think like, damn, is that why? Because he believed in him so much. And from a basketball purity standpoint, but then also he had to fight for him to be on the roster, even with these picks, even with these roster spots. I'm gonna help you out. So if it don't go that way, but I also get the other side of it too. This is what he's saying. I get the other side of the politics, the business, the bullshit that I may not be for. So if it get too much pressure on me, I'm bowing out.
Yeah.
And we losing, I'm out of here. Right? I've never thought about that. I'm not saying that's right, but that shit just hit me.
Yeah, and I definitely don't want to speak on his behalf.
No, never that.
But it's just the point of all of it is so complex.
It's
bro.
complex, man.
It's complex.
You know what?
It's definitely complex, but it starts with James Dolan. I'm gonna have to point the finger at him right here, even though he's done a beautiful job now with Leon Rose and getting the fuck out the way. But him rushing to just give away so many assets to get Melo, that initial arrival to New York was already complicated. When you look at the coach that they had, plus the roster, there was a lot of holes that needed to be filled. And even though the Knicks amnestied Chauncey Billups, they got Tyson Chandler and put more pieces around Melo, the style, the coaching, the organization being all on one accord, it still didn't fit. Jeremy Lin coming through for that 2-week span or whatever it was lightning in a bottle. But as soon as Melo made his return, it was a snap back to the reality that the Knicks were always in.
So you're trying to distill a simple, you're trying to get a simple answer to a complex, really, really complex situation. And I think it's not as cut and dry or black and white as everybody wants it to be. So it's not like, Jeremy didn't fit Melo's playing style and vice versa, or there was jealousy of Linsanity, or Jeremy wanted the most money so he left. I think there are elements of all of that in the whole story of Melo is realistically trying to figure out, I came to New York and I got the weight of the world on my shoulders, and I gotta be prime peak Melo. So what does that look like? I'm also thinking like, I'm trying to find my way. I'm trying to, figure it out. And I want to be also respected and deserve to be respected as a basketball player, which is reflected in your contract. But at the same time, I'm also not chasing the money too, right? Like, so there's elements of all of that within all of the story, but to be able to say that it's all these things all at once, is to say it's that simple where it's just this one thing and that's it, is just an overgeneralization. I don't think life ever works that hardly ever works that black and white. And jealousy, like the whole topic is like, it's jealous. It's like what we talked about on the phone, and Melo was like, the reality is when you're hooping and we got a streak going and we're playing a certain style, like, yeah, there's pressure on me to figure out, like, do I feel like, man, like I need to kind of come back and also, of course, be healthy, do your thing, help the team win. But also I need to figure out where I fit into this piece of the puzzle. Then I get hurt and they're playing a certain way. And of course, I'm going to think the same thing of like, okay, I got to get healthy. Where do I fit in this puzzle? And how big of a piece am I? And all of that. There is all of that. That's a real human thing. Like anybody who tells you they're not struggling with it or dealing with it is lying to your face. We are all like, we all got egos. We all got ambition. But I don't think, my point is, I don't think that ever overtook our goal to figure it out together and to win, because we are professional basketball players playing for the same team and our job is to win. And I think there was a commitment to that, but just
as we like piecing this back together, as your teammate now, was it something that you would have loved to see differently from me as your teammate at that in those moments?
I mean, and we talked about this over the phone. Towards the end of the conversation, I was like, man, Mel, I just gotta bring up one thing. To me, I was like, I said, you know, when I was trying to come back for the playoffs against the Miami Heat, like I wasn't ready to play physically. Like I could have been on the court and been I don't think I wasn't gonna help the team. Like I was really dealing with a serious surgery, like a serious thing where it's like I didn't have my step, I didn't have my explosiveness, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to play anyways. So I'm like, I'm getting ready. I'm like, I'm gonna try to figure it out. I gotta just get out there. And like Melo and a couple other OGs were like, kind of like, we pulled me to the side and we had a talk, and they were like, yo, like this isn't the move. And they were trying to protect me. And you know, I think it's something that I personally was like, it wasn't just you it was you and a couple others. And I was like, I'm grateful that y'all are giving me your veteran advice and wisdom. And then, you know, obviously with the wording of everything, I get crushed in the media. And I was like, Melo, I wish that you were one of the OGs, one of the vets, just at least came out and like backed me up a little bit, because I was hell bent on trying to play that series. Like I really wanted to. And y'all could see like it's not like the body is not possible. And that's not actually gonna help you or the team.
Right. It's gonna hinder the whole process.
And so that's probably like that's the thing. I was like, man, I wish somebody just came out and helped me in that regard. But you know, that came and went, and that's fine. But that's the one thing I had said to him. And obviously the other regret that I kind of have is like, man, I wish we had the conversation earlier. You know, I wish we had the conversation a lot earlier. Because it's hilarious. I've never told you this, but obviously I leave the Knicks and we never talked it out. And so there's this like elephant in the room. So every time we play against each other, I'm like, I'll say what's up to you if you say what's up to me. And you're probably like, I'll say what's up to you. And so we never say what's up to each other.
I'm gonna shoot Melo some bail here because he just arrived in New York. That was only his second season. The team was still in flux about, you know, what direction they was gonna go towards. Mike D'Antoni was the coach that really didn't fit Melo's play style. And all of a sudden, during a lockout season, you get Jeremy Lin and Linsanity.
Damn. And then we're just playing against each other. And then there was one game where, you know, you always try to swipe the ball or block the ball early. Like they're about to get into it, and before they even get into their peak jump, you hit my head so hard, man. You gave me an uppercut to the, and I was like, for real?
Oh, that was personal? You did it on purpose.
I was like,
a little extra in that one.
Dang, I think I had the mohawk at the time. My whole mohawk was shaking back and forth. I'm like a bobblehead. He hit me so hard, and I was like, okay, all right. So
that's what we doing?
Every time I play against, like every time he was in front of me. I'm going. And then I did something else that was hilarious. I don't know if you remember this. Literally, we didn't talk about this until today. And then you would be guarding the pick and roll. And at that time, you were kind of getting moved because the NBA was evolving. And so you were kind of going to that stretch 4 position. So you were defending on some of the pick and rolls. And I was like, every chance I get, he's guarding the pick and roll, I'm going to nutmeg him. I'm going to throw it through his legs. So, bro, I had there was one game where I had 2 or 3.
Every time you saw
where I had 2 or 3. And it wasn't to me, it wasn't I hate you. It was just I didn't know.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't know how you actually felt about me. And then I'm hearing and piecing all these things together. And I'm like, okay, he probably had a hand in, I don't know how big of a hand, but he probably had a hand in me not coming back to the Knicks. And then he also uppercutted me in the face.
He spanked the shit out of you in court.
And then we don't say what's up to each other. And we're and that was my vet too, right?
Yeah,
It's as a young player, I look up to him, Melo, him, Stat, and T.Y. Y'all are my vets.
Yeah.
You guys are legends to me. I have so much respect for you.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know how to operate. I was like, I'm just not making you every time. Hey, man, roller come out, going right through your legs, get 2 points. I'm like, yeah. And then meanwhile, you would be doing killing in the mid range, hitting shots, ball coming, you muscle up, get an and one, and then the ball comes down, and you always headbutting the ball, and I'm just every time you score, I'd just be like, man, this dude right here, man. And then I would go ice. It was just hilarious, bro.
See, I don't be knowing that shit, man. I'm just so, again, man, when you're competitive, it's shit happens so fast in sports and in this league. And that's why, and this is a message to a lot of people out there, honor those relationships or take the time out to understand what people's going through or dealing with on your team, right? Be it the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th guy. Everybody is dealing with something. So it wasn't that I didn't understand that. It was that I understood it, but damn, I got to continue. I'm on a streak. I can't lose in Houston. I don't want to lose in Houston. And we got to win games. And he just so happened to be on the other side.
Yeah, once again, I'm going to shoot Melo some bail here because he just got to New York and they were already losing. Thank God the Knicks have moved away from the whole, let's just get a star no matter what, and then we'll figure it out later. Because for most of Melo's reign in New York, he was dealing with the repercussions of all that.
And again, I don't know that he's feeling this way. I'm just about to go play against Houston Rockets, who just so happen to have Jeremy Lin, who just came from. I understand the dynamics of what the picture that they painted. But I'm trying to win. I'm not thinking about
the NBA's not letting y'all two just on the MSG network. All right?
No,
if y'all playing each other, it's a national team. Everybody's watching.
I'm not thinking about I have to beat Jeremy Lin when I go play the Houston Rockets. I gotta really die. I still gotta move on.
Right.
So when the time comes up, hey Melo, you need to talk to Jeremy J. Lin. I'm like, what the fuck is why? Why? What I need to talk to him about? Is something happened? I'm still naive about what the fuck is going on. But anyway, that was just a competitive move. Something that I do. The swipe. I do the swipe. Yeah. And just so happened.
You was there.
Yes, because I also know him. And I know his scouting report. And I also know when he goes to the whole what he's about to do.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm timing it.
Notice right there, Melo mentions his scouting report. That's something that the rest of the league didn't necessarily have on Jeremy Lin during the whole Linsanity craze.
And I guess he knew I was about to swipe.
I knew you were trying to, I had this kind of
right, so
he's gonna try to get it early, so I'm moving the ball out the way, and it's bang right in my head.
It set the tone, I guess.
Yeah, it definitely set the tone.
It's all good. We in now.
I'm glad these two were able to patch up any tension that they had, and this is really a learning lesson for James Dolan on not to rush the process and to have all facets of the organization aligned, from the coaching staff to the general manager, team president. We're seeing this play out perfectly with Leon Rose, and that's why the Knicks were able to get to where they needed to go. Unfortunate for Melo, he started off the race in New York on bad footing. Not only his wingmate in Amari Stoudemire, his body was breaking down over time, but the coaching staff and player personnel did not fit with what exactly makes Carmelo Anthony great. And Jeremy Lin was a lightning in a bottle. It was sort of like a 2-week period where you took a vacation from all that madness, but it was short-lived. Hey, only in New York, right?